This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Thursday, September the 10th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of Barbados, Minister Stuart, is recommending the establishment of a financial mechanism that would bring a speedier restoration to regional states devastated by natural disasters. Speaking yesterday at a press conference after touring those areas in Dominica hardest hit by Tropical Storm Erica, Prime Minister Stuart noted the inadequacy of existing systems such as the Caribbean Risk Insurance Facility.
Dominica will be able to draw on its resources if it hasn't done so already. But when we put those mechanisms in place, in the very short term, they deal with some of our more pressing exigencies. But we need a larger and more reliable framework in place to deal with our natural disasters so that what for other countries is a sprint back to normalcy can become for us a sprint too, rather than a long, fatiguing marathon. But we are continuing to try our best.
The issue which resulted in confusion among supermarket operators regarding the new basket of goods and what items would now attract 17.5% value-added tax or VAT has been resolved. So says Minister of Finance Sinckler, who in his June budget announced that over 200 items would be removed from the basket of over 400 items and as such would attract the 17.5% tax effective September the 1st. But Sinckler told Barbados Today that a base understanding of what would be in the basket and what would be out was reached at a meeting yesterday which he held with representatives of the Barbados Revenue Authority and other stakeholders. The National Union of Public Workers says it is seeking an urgent meeting with the management of the School Meals Department to prevent escalation of what it describes as a potentially explosive industrial dispute over working hours for employees. Acting Assistant General Secretary Wayne Waldron tells Barbados Today that the department's employees are angry over a management decision to unilaterally change their hours of work. So serious was the situation, he says, that the union had summoned workers at an emergency meeting on Saturday at 4 p.m. at NUPW headquarters to discuss the way forward regarding this and other grievances.
The National Union of Public Workers would have written the manager of the School Meals Department requesting an urgent meeting to deal with a complaint in which workers received communication that their hours have been changed. Their former hours of work would have been 6 to 2, and then the other shift would be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have not received any formal communication about these proposed changes, and we need to sit down and negotiate this development. The workers are saying, however, that there is no need to vary the hours because there were a flexible arrangement which have been effective and efficient for the School Meals Department. For example, for the 6 a.m. shift, companies early is 4:30. The other argument they are advancing that support going beyond the call of duty is that they bring their own supplies to ensure the meals hours. For example, spices, they buy their own brooms, they bring their own stirring sticks, they even buy cleaning agents when supplies are short. And they're saying they do everything possible to ensure that the meals are prepared for the nation's children on time. And this flexible arrangement would have worked for several decades, and they do not understand why this particular stance is being taken. There's no justification for taking such a stance.
Hoteliers can finally access concessions on more products. This followed a meeting between officials of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association and the Barbados Revenue Authority this week. Chief Executive Officer of the BHTA, Sue Springer, made the announcement yesterday at the association's third quarterly general meeting held at Hilton Resort. She says after months of only accessing concessions on alcoholic beverages, hoteliers are now able to get the same on fish and meats.
The concessions for proteins have been entered into the Escuda system. That is the system that is used at BRA. Thus allowing for hotels to now apply, you have to go through the application, for duty-free concession for meats and fish. The process is exactly the same as the alcohol, and you can start ordering from today. Of course, we also have to make sure that when we're doing the ordering, we are doing so that we do not impact on the local production and the agricultural inputs, Mr. Paul. I'm fully aware of that, sir.
Sports now, the annual Carlton Hope Lionel Hall Memorial Boxing Tournament gets going at the St. Michael's School Auditorium on September 26. The Barbados Boxing Association event is being held as part of the selection process for boxers to represent Barbados at the upcoming Caribbean Development Boxing Tournament that will take place in Guyana in November. The local boxers will come up against competitors from Antigua and Barbuda in a 10-bout card, which will feature juniors, youth, and elite boxers. Among the local boxers who will be in action are Anderson Emmanuel, Akeem Farley, Giovanni Ford, Chabral Bartol Foster, Ezra Lord, Ision Fraser, and Arkin Isidore.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To developments in the wider Caribbean now, we head to Trinidad and Tobago, where former Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besesar says her coalition party will be filing petitions to have Monday's general elections declared null and void. In a release to the media, the leader of the People's Partnership said, based on legal advice, the party will challenge the sudden decision by the Election and Boundaries Commission to extend the time of the voting from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on polling day without what she said was any official notification to her party or the constituent parties. She added that information and data received by the party strongly suggested that the People's Partnership was comfortably ahead in the polls at 6 p.m., but the march to victory was adversely affected by the sudden unilateral decision by the EBC to extend the hours of the poll. Now, in response to the EBC said the Constitution allows it to exercise its powers in an unfettered manner in all election matters. On the international scene, 4 Mexican officials have been charged with aiding the escape of the notorious drugs lord Joaquim El Chapo Guzman. Guzman escaped from a maximum security prison in July through a tunnel in his cell. 2 of those charged are members of Mexico's Secret Service who were based at the prison, and the other 2 control room employees who were responsible for monitoring El Chapo's cell. They are accused of failing to raise the alarm once Guzman had escaped. And that's where we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. Now, you can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also, tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV and to Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.